Shalom. I would like to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect out there scattered abroad at the four corners of the earth. Okay, so I stumbled across this video from Comedy Hype. Now, maybe I'll link this video into the description, maybe I won't. But anyway, this individual by the name of Angela Means did an interview, and she speaks about the death of the people that she's had ties to in her line of work. And so you may not recognize her now, but if you do your Googles on Angela Means, you'd be like, oh, hey, that's the woman from that movie Friday. You understand? But anyway, I digress. So she speaks about how people's diets plays a role in how their health deteriorates. And if you've been watching my videos, you would know that I speak on these things. In fact, I did a video about Anthony Davis and how he was eating crawfish, shellfish, and how that's not good for your body, and how it's against the dietary law in the Bible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to chime in on it.
Tiny was getting signs. Yvette was getting. They were all getting these signs. John Witherspoon ate nothing but fried chicken. He would go get a bag of fried chicken, and that's what he would eat. And the last time I saw him, I could see it. Like his face was bloated, and he looked like he was struggling.
You recently got into health, but
now eating fried foods, obviously that's bad for you. All right, eating a lot of fried foods is bad for you. That could really go without saying. That's something that we were taught when we were children, when we were young. You understand? However, Jake is hard-headed. Jake just wants to satiate his taste, even when it's detrimental to his health. And the older you get and the less active you are physically, in terms of exercising, the more likely that you'll wind up getting sick and having a disease. All right?
we think about, black men's health in particular. We don't last too long. A lot of times it seems like a woman or whoever we're with outlives us a lot of times. And on your particular vehicle, your Project Friday, we lost a lot of black men in that, and women as well, with health. I guess, how do we talk about the people that we lost? None of them were killed by bullets, I don't think, or...
Food is the number one killer. Food is the number one killer. And I'll go so far as to say, doctors be killing motherfuckers. The third leading cause of death is medical malpractice, is misdiagnosis of medicine. That is the third leading cause of death. And you get on this medicine to mask all these symptoms created by what you're putting in your body. And we're allowed to eat a lot of things that I was saying is banned in other countries. They're living longer in other countries because their governments are afraid of them. We're afraid of our government. So we accept garbage on the shelves. You go into the average American grocery store, nothing on the shelf is edible.
You heard that? You go to the average grocery store, nothing on the shelf is edible. And when you look at the back, when you read the ingredients, you'll see all different sorts of chemicals, stuff that you really can't even pronounce. You have a hard time pronouncing them. And so, it's not good for your body, all right? Going back to the time of World War II, that's when eating a lot of processed foods, canned foods, it became, more so popular. And, as time has gone on, we've seen it extend to higher levels. People just eat foods, all right? Really, these foods are Franken foods, and they don't think much of it. People aren't into the habit of reading the ingredients on products, all right? They don't think about the repercussions of what they put into their body.
Nothing should be consumed on any of it. Processed foods, and a lot of vegans are going to get in trouble because they're going from meat to this processed meat, and it's going to cause a lot of problems eventually, and it's going to come back on the vegan community as if, listen.
You hear that? She just spoke about how, you know, these vegan meats, the Beyond meats, and how it's really no good for you either. A lot of that stuff is processed. So people think that they're going towards a better alternative when they eat this processed meat, processed vegetarian meat. When in reality, you're actually better off eating real meat, real meat that's, farm raised, fed the proper food, all right? Not injected with hormones and other sorts of chemicals. You understand? You see, in the ancient world, people had actual land and they had cattle, so they can oversee their food, all right? And they actually killed their cattle themselves. So, in no actuality, when you go to the grocery store, you really don't even know what's being put inside of the animals that you eat, all right? And that's not good. That's one of the problems when it comes to consuming food, because certain grocery stores are better than others, like for example Whole Foods or whatever. But yeah, it's no good eating meat that's injected with all sorts of chemicals and hormones, and stuff like that. That's why they say that it's a big difference between the meat in the United States and, let's just say, the meat in like Dominican Republic or something, or the meat in Europe, all right?
Tiny was, your body is delicate. You are a delicate, beautiful machine. And when you overwork your insides, you become sick. We are really frutivores. I go 1 week out of the month, I eat only fruit, raw fruit. I'll eat an entire watermelon. Oranges.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can go on a fruit diet or a vegetable diet if you want to, because when you eat fruits and vegetables, it alkalinizes your body. It helps alkalinize your body. And I did a video on the importance of alkalinizing your body, being careful of what type of water you put into your body, all right? You see, going back into the ancient world, people used to drink from water wells or from like springs. And, naturally, when you drink from water that comes from a spring, it gets filtered and it has the minerals in it. And your body needs those minerals. You understand? So it's very, very important to alkalinize your body, because when your body has a high acidic level, which he speaks about high acidic levels in the body later on in this video, When your body has a high acidic level, then your body becomes a breeding ground for diseases. All right, and your body feels like it's not fluid, it's not running right.
Mangoes, grapes, melon. And I clean my system out, and my energy shoots through the roof. People say, "Oh, we got fangs." That's been dispelled. The hippopotamus has the biggest fangs in the world, and they're herbivores. Well, my muscles, I need.
Well, that's not a good comparison, comparing humans to animals, because the Bible says that not all flesh is the same flesh. As a matter of fact, let's get that. 1 Corinthians 15:39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. So there you go. You can't make the comparison between humans and animals, because we're two different types of builds, all right? Animals have enzymes in their stomach to where they can digest certain foods that, let's just say, humans can't. So, back to the video.
I need my protein. Where does the cow get his protein? Where does the horse get his protein? Where does the gorilla get his protein? Gorillas eat berries and twigs. And the gorilla could come through here and rip this whole place up. We have been...
Now, we just read that in 1 Corinthians, so that's debunked.
Indoctrinated in the church. And we have been led to believe that all we have to do is pray over our food and it ain't going to hurt us. That is 75% of the case. Oh, I just pray over my food. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to have my meat. Well,
she has a point there, because when you look at these churches, these Christian churches, they'll tell you that you can eat whatever you want to eat. All things are clean to eat. God made everything okay to eat, when that couldn't be any more further from the truth, because the Most High, He gave us a dietary law. And these laws are practical. He gave us these laws for our own good, you know? And let's go with that. Let's say you can't eat anything. I want to see somebody eat a Komodo dragon. Go ahead, do it. I dare you. You'll wound up dead, man. You can't just eat anything that you want to eat, all right? And even foods that are considered clean for us to eat, such as beef, chicken, you know, you can't have too much of it. You're supposed to eat everything in moderation.
In actuality, you're not meant to eat meat. And particularly...
That's not true, because the Lord said when the Passover comes around, you're supposed to get a lamb, all right? And you're supposed to eat the lamb. You can read about the Passover in Exodus chapter 12, all right? And that's a commandment, all right? So it's okay to eat meat, but just don't go overboard with it.
Melanated people are not meant to eat acidic foods. Melanated people are meant to consume alkaline foods. Melanated people are meant to consume melon. When melanated people eat watermelon, it's like gold. And so vilifying watermelon helps you hurt yourself. I don't eat watermelon. No, I don't do that. You're supposed to, and yes, you do have an appetite for it. But now you, all of a sudden, you don't want to eat watermelon? Watermelon is the world's largest vine fruit, and it is literal gold. You can, Genesis 1:29. When people start talking about the Bible, Genesis 1:29, I spread the seeds upon the land for you to use as meat.
Yeah. So, just again reflecting on.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, let's go to Genesis 1:29. And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. So the Most High, He gave us fruits to eat, He gave us vegetables to eat. And, fruits and vegetables are obviously healthy for you. That's something that we were taught growing up. And you really can't go wrong eating your fruits and vegetables. She mentioned watermelon and how that's very good for your body.
People we lost, and even Bernie Mac. Do you feel like in your heart that if they would have had maybe some education about these foods, would they still be with us?
100%. 100%. We like meat because we season it with plants. Season plants with plants.
There she goes again, trying to vilify eating meat. Now that's something that, in a way, gets on my nerves when it comes to vegans, because when you do your research, when you look at the nutritional value of certain meats that you eat, it'll tell you that chicken, it has zinc in it, or beef or lamb or goat, it has this mineral in it that's conducive for your body. So again, there's nothing wrong with eating meat. If anything, you just have to be careful how much of it that you consume. And also the way that it's cooked and prepared and where it's sourced from. This is Ecclesiasticus 37, and I'm going to start off at verse 28. For all things are not profitable for all men, neither has every soul pleasure in everything. Be not unsatiable in any dainty thing, nor too greedy upon meats. Right? Don't go overboard with it. Don't be a glutton when it comes to eating. For excess of meats bringeth sickness, and suffering will turn into choler. By suffering have many perished, but he that taketh heed prolongeth his life. So there you go. If you're educated, if you have the knowledge on how you should eat, then it's going to be beneficial for you in the long run. And, the so-called black community just wants to eat whatever their heart desires. Jake, he might have a taste for some ham, knowing damn well he don't got no business eating no damn swan. Oh, that pork, that's no good for you. Same thing with shellfish, that's no good for you. And obviously the fried foods that I mentioned earlier. All right. It's very important that you eat things in its propriety. All right, as long as it's lawful.
There's enough plants to give you the texture, the desired texture that you are looking for. And I'll give you a shrimp that tastes so clean and so good that you won't want to. You'll see how clean food is actually supposed to taste. And it's all education. It's all what we're willing to accept. But because we've been indoctrinated, we honestly believe that we need this big amount of protein. And there are doctors that are telling us right now. There's a hospital down in Houston that does not allow meat. If you go to the American Cancer Society, it says meat is a cause of cancer. Yet they have recipes on there for meat. Crazy, right? Listen, when I saw Tiny Lister the last time I saw
Okay, so they say that eating meat is cancer causing, and it's a carcinogen. Well, at the same time, you have these people rolling out their NWO trying to stop people from eating meat, trying to get you to eat bugs instead, or to eat the Beyond Meat, you know, the fake meat. And why is that? It's because they want you to be indoctrinated into having nothing. Okay? So that's one plot. And then on the other hand, you can counter the carcinogens in meats, or they say eating meat makes your body acidic. Well, you can counter that by eating it with fruits and vegetables. All right? When you eat, you're supposed to have a full course meal. You're supposed to have a balanced meal. All right? Again, they teach you this stuff when you're young. All right? You're supposed to have your vegetables, your grains, all right, the protein, and eating the vegetables also helps with your digestive system too. All right, so that you're not constipated. All right, I watch people just eat meat. I've seen people just do that. They just eat meat. No vegetables, no grains, none of that. They just go and just eat meat. And I also watch people just drink soda. Drink two Cokes a day. All right. They'll drink the energy drinks. When that ain't no good for you. All right. Especially these sodas, because when you look at the ingredients, what does it say? It's purified water. All right. Which you got to question the water. Where's the water coming from? It's not no spring water. It's not alkaline water that they're using. And then they also add in the chemicals, the sugars. All right. All these energy drinks and sodas, it's no good for you. This can really go without saying. And some people fall into the habit of drinking it, and you'd be surprised how much damage the human body can take. I've realized that over quite some time. The human body is a tank, and everybody's body is different, but at some point you have a breaking point. You understand? You got people out there that smoke cigarettes and they'll drink a Coke, and they're still good. They're still able to maneuver and carry on with life and their day-to-day tasks. And you might look at them from the outside like, damn, how do they do that? You be like, oh, I can never make the choices that they make as far as putting certain things into my body. you know? But again, the human body is a tank. You'd be surprised. But eventually it does catch up to you. Because all the health decisions that you make, the bad health decisions that you make, rather, it's insidious. All right? Look at Debo from Friday. All right? John Singleton, same thing. She said that he was eating a lot of fried food, excess fried food. Come on, man.
Tiny, we were on the road together, and Tiny didn't look so good. And I've been in this field now over a decade, and I've been mentored by a lot of professionals where I can look at someone and I can tell what's going on in their body. And Tiny was in renal failure when I saw him. There were parts of his body that were retaining water, and he was literally being poisoned. And I watched him consume energy drink after energy drink after energy drink, and I begged him. I did. And I just said, please, please, please. I just call him Papa. I call him Big Daddy sometimes. Just come and try it. I got to pick up my girl. I'm good, baby girl. I'm good, baby girl. I'm good. And it's like, look at his leg was the size of a tree. It was one leg, looked like a tree trunk. From his foot to his hip, it was all one size, and it was swollen. And he was having kidney issues. But you could look at it, and I just wanted to say, let me just clean you out. There's a couple of comics, every time I run into them, a couple of female comics, I beg them. You know, and a lot of times, people feel that a little bit of weight is what's healthy. That's healthy. Girl, I'm thick. I'm healthy. Some, yeah, I suppose. But you get signs, and we ignore them. We ignore all the signs. Tiny was getting signs. Yvette was getting. They were all getting these signs. John Witherspoon ate nothing but fried chicken. He would go get a bag of fried chicken, and that's what he would eat. And the last time I saw him, I could see it. Like, his face was bloated, and it's food. Food is the number one killer.
All right, so that's the end of this interview. Actually, it's a longer video. She did a interview that's longer, but nevertheless, pretty much hit the points that I wanted to hit in this clip that she has. But you know, if y'all want, y'all go look up Comedy Hype and watch the entire interview if you want. But you know, I find it interesting how this society, you know, praises people or comforts people when they're going through morbid obesity. All right. You go to the doctor will even tell you that it's not good to be obese. If you're over a certain weight for your body's stature, then they'll tell you straight up, all right, you're obese and you're overweight and you should lose weight, all right? But again, society will try to comfort someone if they're overweight. They'll be like, oh, it's okay. Just accept who you are. Love yourself for who you are. Don't worry what others say. But obviously, that's not the right approach. And again, this all goes back to knowledge and having information. All right? You gotta understand that the foods that you eat plays a role on how well your body performs. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not alright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. In other words, some people go through life with the attitude that life is short and we're all gonna die someday, so might as well live it to the maximum and enjoy it. Live fast, die young. Well, sometimes you have to slow down so that you can see what's going on around you and also what's coming down the road. You see, if someone was prudent, they wouldn't put the terrible foods into their body system because they know that it's going to have repercussions down the line. So anyway, I hope y'all found this video edifying. Shalom.